Welcome. If you're listening to this, chances are you care about staying active, or you've had a recent reminder of how quickly that can change, often due to pain. Most people don't see it coming. They're coping, carrying on, and doing what they've always done, until one ordinary moment becomes one step too far.
Welcome to the 3 Rules to Stay Active for Life. I'm Gavin Routledge, a lifestyle medicine professional, osteopath and author. And in this podcast, I'll share a few simple frameworks to help you suffer less pain and feel more confident about your current and future health. Pain is real, but it's rarely simple. I'd like to start by telling you a story. Now, this happened about 5 or 6 years ago. I was cycling to work one sunny morning when I suddenly felt a sharp jab of pain in the front of my thigh. I looked down and there, sitting on my shorts, happy as can be, was a wasp. I had brushed it off. I'd clearly been stung through my lycra shorts. Yes, it hurt, but I decided to keep cycling. I still had about 40 minutes ahead of me, and as I rode on, I noticed some interesting things. Here's how my pain levels changed during that ride and some thoughts that went through my head at the same time. A badger runs across the road. Look out, badger! My attention's fully on the badger and the road. Pain level 0. A little later, my mind drifts back to my thigh. How sore is it? Pain levels 4 or 5 out of 10. Pretty obvious. Come to a busy junction. I speed up to get out in front of a car. Focused, alert. Pain level 0. Later on, worrying thought pops into my head. What if I'm allergic? I remember a few years ago I had an anaphylactic reaction. Pain level now 6 out of 10. Then a driver cuts me up. Adrenaline spikes. Get out the way, man. Pain level 0. Over the course of that ride, my pain went from 0 to 6 and back again without anything changing in my thigh. That experience reinforced everything I already knew academically about pain. Pain is not a direct readout of damage. Pain isn't a simple signal travelling from your body to your brain. Pain is something that the nervous system produces. It's an output, not an input. And fundamentally, pain reflects how safe or how threatened your system feels. Think back to the earlier episodes. Measuring helps you to spot patterns before you're blindsided. Reducing lowers the background load that quietly raises sensitivity, and relaxing calms the nervous system so signals aren't amplified. And the cliff of pain model reminds us that risks often accumulate quietly in the background. That's why flare-ups often seem to come out of nowhere. Remember that phrase? All I was doing was... Pain is what happens when several things combine, not when one thing goes wrong. I call this way of thinking the pain equation. Now, this is not maths. You're not going to be tested. It's simply a framework, a way of understanding why pain can feel unpredictable. So some factors turn pain up and other factors turn pain down. And pain lives in the balance between them. Pain tends to increase when there's a signal from the tissues, when your attention is fixed on it, when you feel threatened or worried, and when past experiences or memories get activated. You've probably noticed this already. Pain is often worse when you're stressed, worse when you're tired, and especially worse when you're worried about what that pain means. On the other hand, pain often settles when you feel safe, when you're calm, and when you're moving confidently. Think back to my cycle ride. When I was focused, engaged, or physically active, pushing hard up a hill, the pain faded, all the way down to 0 in many cases. And this is where the earlier practices really matter, because measuring helps you see which variables are active. Reducing takes pressure out of the system, and relaxing stops stress from amplifying the signal. Now, here's the simplest way I can express the pain equation, and believe me, I have worked at this equation over those 6 years. And this is where it sits now. Pain equals nociception, which are signals from the body, plus negative mind state, plus attention, plus pain memory, minus positive mind state, minus safe, confident movement. That's it. This isn't something to calculate. It's a way of understanding why pain changes and why you have more influence than you might think. Nothing here removes pain instantly, but everything here changes the equation. Pain fluctuates because the inputs fluctuate. Good days don't mean you're fixed, and bad days don't mean you're broken. Think again about the cliff of pain. You're not falling off randomly, you're moving closer to or further from the edge, depending on the balance of these factors. And once you understand the pain equation, the goal stops being fighting pain directly, and it becomes improving the conditions your body is working in. And that's what the next episode is about. Optimize. Not doing more, but getting more out of what you already do. So, important message. Pain is real. Pain is protective. And importantly, pain is changeable. If your pain goes up and down, that means the system can shift. And that's a good thing. If today's episode sparked a shift in how you think about your body or your health, don't try to change everything at once. Choose one small action this week, something that nudges you towards staying active rather than avoiding discomfort. That's how confidence is rebuilt. You'll find further episodes exploring the 3 rules and the habits that matter most, not by doing more, but by doing things better. This program is provided for general information only and should not be taken as medical advice. If you have persistent or worsening symptoms, please seek appropriate medical guidance.